Hello and welcome to another Energy Talk video from the School of Energy Awareness. As you know, if you've watched any of our other Energy Talk videos, everything contains energy, structured by its energy, and has a unique energy signature. And everything in the world puts out its energy, including us. Developing your energy awareness means getting concretely and groundedly more and more aware of the effects of the energies in your world on your energy body. We've already shown in other videos what happens when you eat and drink certain things, when you wear certain clothes, when you look at or read certain things, and when you use various pieces of equipment. And today we're going to look at three particular aspects of energy awareness. Firstly, we're going to examine some of the old superstitions and see what energy wisdom underlay those superstitions, why they came into being. And we're also going to look at some of the classical yoga postures and see their effects on the human energy body. We're going to compare that to Shendo yoga asanas, which are basically energy aware asanas. Some are quite similar, some are quite different from the classical asanas, but again you'll see the differing energetic effects of how you do your yoga. And lastly, we're delighted actually to introduce the new Shendor Pendulum from Energize Your Life, which is the most powerful energy awareness cultivation device available really today. It goes way beyond being a dowsing instrument or finding out in yes and no questions. It directly cultivates your own energy awareness. And no matter what instrument you use, whether it's dowsing rods, pendulums, or other devices, ultimately it should also be developing your own energy awareness, but many of them don't. We know dowsers that are still using their pendulum after 30 years. The Shendor Pendulum is unique in that it's also a personal energy awareness cultivation device. And eventually it's something that you won't need. The more you concretely develop your own direct energy awareness, then that becomes a real body energy awareness for you. So, without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Stephen and Maria, who will be sitting there, and they're going to show you some of these things. Stephen's going to be demonstrating with Maria how things I've just described affect her energy body. And we're going to look at one particular technique, which is called body balancing or body energy balancing, that comes with the Shendor Pendulum. There is a whole e-course that comes with the pendulum, and this is just one of the techniques to give you a taste for how that works. So, without further ado, I'll get out of the way and I'll hand over to them.
Hi, I'm Stephen from the School of Energy Awareness, and I'm here today with my friend Maria, and we're going to talk a little about popular superstitions from an energy awareness point of view. So we're all familiar with the idea that pointing at someone else is rude, or walking under a ladder might be bad luck. And I believe in the Middle East, it's impolite to sit with the sole of your foot facing someone else. So these are all ideas in the popular culture, and we're going to have a brief look at why they exist. So, pointing is rude. Why is it rude? Now we need a volunteer finger.
I'm coming. Okay, so
now I'm going to borrow Maria's arm. Remember, we used this energy test.
you know, parents are often saying to their children or school teachers,
You're going to resist as strongly as you can.
Yep.
Okay, ready? Resist. And you're weak, yeah? Now, if you clap your hands a few times in front of your heart chakra, a couple more. Okay. Now, without pointing, we're going to do the same thing again. Ready? Resist. And now, this is a rock solid lock, so Maria's resistance here is really, really strong. And now we're going to do the pointing again. Okay, strong as you can. Ready? Resist. And now it's gone weak. Thank you. Thanks for the finger.
You're welcome.
And what happens when someone points at you with their index finger, or as it happens, their thumb, the energy at what we call the lumen, or popularly called the sixth chakra, contracts. And when your energy there contracts, it affects your whole autonomic nervous system. So in a sense, you've been attacked by the energy of the person pointing their finger at you. It's an energy assault. So yeah, it is rude. Now, of course, most people don't have a lot of energy coming out of their fingertips. I do recall a story about a psychic surgeon in the Philippines. He used to have a party piece where he'd line people up wearing white shirts, and he'd go along the row of people and kind of go bang, and then a little spot of blood would appear on each person's shirt. You know, I don't know if that was legitimate or not, but he was famous as a psychic surgeon. He performed all kinds of miraculous treatments on people, and assuming that was true, then he would have had a lot more energy coming out of his fingers than the average person. Basically, though, anyone who points at someone else is attacking their energy, however weak the effect might be.
So I should just probably clap after.
Yeah, do a few claps. Now, you see, if you clap at your heart chakra, this is a very, normally it's not a strong effect. When you do this, you are sealing your energy. That means, in a sense, making your energy stronger again after it's been weakened by something. And this is a very reliable technique. It doesn't always work, but more often than not, it's a very reliable way of making your energy strong again. So if someone points at you, do a few claps. Why not? Okay, so the next superstition we'll look at is having the sole of your foot facing someone else. I'm going to do this. Let's see. I'm going to sit here with the sole of my foot facing Mario. I'm going to do the same thing again. Nice strong arm, as strong as you can. Ready? Resist. And you've gone weak again. And I'm going to put my foot down. Same thing again. Ready? Resist. Very strong lock. Sole of foot again. Once again. Resist. And it goes weak again. It wouldn't matter where I was sitting. If we were in a restaurant and I was at a table behind Maria and the sole of my foot was facing her back, her energy would still be going weaker. So again, there is a reason, an energy reason, why this particular belief exists. And the reason the sole of the foot causes someone's energy to go weak is that your body is constantly discharging stresses that we're picking up from your environment, from other people, from maybe bad habits you've got. Your body's always processing stress, and the stress is being grounded out through the soles of your foot. And so 24/7, you're discharging stress through the bottoms of your feet. So you don't want your feet pointing at someone else. And as we'll see in a moment, when you practice yoga, you don't want the sole of your foot facing yourself either. Okay, so there are many ways of sealing the energy body more. And this is important because people's energy is usually in conflict. We all know about the traditional idea of your head being in conflict with your heart. But in fact, any two parts of your body can be in conflict. Your eyes can be in conflict with your mouth, or your liver can be in conflict with your spleen. This friction that develops in people's energy bodies because each part of your body is not in harmony is what results in problems, not just in your health, but also in your life. We're, in a sense, beings at war with ourselves, And yoga, meditation, movement techniques like Tai Chi and so on, they're all ways of starting to seal your energy body more, which gradually reduces the level of internal conflict. So let's look at yoga. Yoga that is taught usually by rote. As to say, people learn how to do yoga and then they teach other people to do the same things. Usually not with very much awareness, which is a bit ironic because yoga is a system for developing higher awareness. So let's take one traditional yoga asana as it is typically, not always, but typically taught. So in traditional yoga, this is called the tree. And we're just going to look at the foot position of the tree and see what happens to Maria's energy while we do that. So first of all, I'm going to borrow Linda's arm, and she's going to have a mudra in front of Maria's heart called Kama mudra, which simply means with the fingers splayed. And the reason we use this mudra to test the energy body is to see if there's an area of the energy body that is contracting, becoming weaker. And that means it's creating conflict in that person's energy. So first of all, Linda's going to have Kama mudra just in front of Maria's heart, accepting, I need this arm. So there we go, you can go a bit further out, that's fine. So I'm going to push down on Linda's arm now, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, ready? And this is a lock. So Linda's arm is strong here.
So I'm a surrogate for testing Maria's energy.
So Maria's heart energy is looking good there. So now Maria is going to do the tree in the more common way. So there you go.
She doesn't pull in me.
Right, so Maria's just got the sole of her foot against her leg. So now we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to test Maria's heart energy with Kama mudra. Nice strong arm. Ready? Resist. And the arm goes weak. That's because Maria's heart energy has contracted. Okay, so now let's do a few claps. That's fine. Okay, let's do the Kama mudra at heart chakra again. Okay. Okay, once again, ready? Resist. Okay, so that's a nice strong lock again. So again, the clapping at the heart chakra has sealed Maria's energy from a few seconds.
Discharges that stress.
Of having the sole of her foot against her own body. So now let's do the tree the other way. It can be done. Alright?
Can you get it up a bit?
Okay, so now the sole of Maria's foot is not facing or not touching her body. So let's do
me then.
No, we'll forget about that. Okay, so let's do the heart chakra energy test again. Okay, here we go. Okay, ready? Resist. And now that's a nice strong lock. So in other words, thank you. So in other words, Maria's heart energy is not being weakened by practicing the tree asana in an energy weakening way. So the point I'm making here is that the point of yoga, doing yoga asanas, is to gradually, increasingly seal your energy body, because that's what makes your energy body fit to hold the energies of higher awareness, which is the ultimate reason for yoga. So if you're practicing yoga asanas in ways that are actually weakening parts of your energy body, it's like taking one step forward and one step back. And even though you may feel better physically from practicing yoga regularly, or you may feel more relaxed and so on, you're not going to be developing the higher awareness that yoga is fundamentally for. Now, in Shendo yoga, which is yoga with energy awareness, we call the tree the sky stone. The reason we give different names to many of the asanas is that they reflect exactly how the asana is affecting the energy body. So the sky stone was actually based on the standing stone, or dormant, which was conducting a lot of energy down from the sky. And this posture, the sky stone, where you have your foot in the correct position on your leg, and you have your arms actually out, probably can't see that, have your arms sideways rather than all the way up, that brings a lot more energy down into your energy body than the traditional tree posture. So this is how Shendo yoga fundamentally differs from traditional yoga, and over time someone practicing Shendo yoga will be determining how to practice the asanas with their own awareness. So it's not just about following a series of taught positions, it's about discovering in yourself which asanas work best for your own energy. And that's the fundamental difference. Now we're going to have a brief look at the Shendor Pendulum. Here's a Shendor Pendulum. Looks like this. This is the large egg or ovoid underneath, connects to the energy of the human energy field, which is also like a large egg. The little ball on top connects to the crown chakra, right here. In yoga or Buddhism, they call it the Ushnisha. So this is an addition to our usual pendulum design. The point of a Shendor pendulum is not primarily to get yes and no answers to questions. The point is to cultivate your energy, which again means to seal your energy body more and more. Because the more you do that, the more fortunes will emerge in your life. More wisdom, more happiness, more inner strength, more success, and primarily, most importantly, higher awareness than you currently experience. Now, the first thing we need to know about a Shendor pendulum is that it's the right one for an individual. So, Maria, for argument's sake, might quite like this one. This is the shen of walnut, so it's a walnut Shendor pendulum. So, what I'm going to do is, Maria, you can just hold this. You can hold it by the little peg at the end of it. Actually, I'm going to forget this because you don't have 3 arms, unfortunately. So I want you just to hold it in your hand, just hold the whole thing in your hand, and then hold your hand at your heart chakra. Okay? And now give me a nice strong arm. Okay, ready? Is this? Okay, so heart chakra is happy. Now move your hand forwards about 6 inches. Okay, once again, nice strong arm. Ready? Resist. No, that's not so strong, is it?
No.
Okay. Now, we're going to compare this with another Shendor pendulum. And this is the shen of pear. Shen, by the way, means spirit. So it's the spirit of pear. So this is pear wood. And we can do the same thing. Start next to your heart chakra. Once again, ready? Resist. Now move it out a few inches. Once again, ready? Resist. Move it out a few more inches. Once again, ready? Resist. And a few more. Ready? Resist. So this is a strong arm. Thanks, Mark. This is, actually, you can keep that. Hang on to it. So this is a strong heart chakra all the way out through the energy field. So this is okay, close in, but just a few inches out, the heart chakra is no longer particularly strong. Let's have a look at your heart chakra. Let me borrow that from you. Let's have a look at your heart chakra without the pendulum. So I have Karma Mudra out here. Okay, ready? Resist. Now a few more inches out. Okay, ready? Resist. Not so strong. That's a normal response. Everyone's chakras become weaker further out from their physical body. But when you hold a Shendor pendulum that is resonant with your heart chakra energy is strong all the way out. Why is this important? Because in your heart chakra there is an energy that transforms your karmas, transforms the challenges in your life, whether in your health or your relationships or your work or your security or your creativity, all kinds of challenges people normally experience in their lives are transformed into fortunes by the energy in the heart chakra. It's a very special energy, and the Shendor Pendulum, the right one for you, makes that energy stronger and stronger. What we're going to look at now is a technique with the Shendor Pendulum called body energy balancing. And this is a way of making your energy body stronger, sealing your energy body with respect to an issue you are experiencing in your life. So, first of all, Maria is going to connect the Shen of pair, the Shendor Pendulum, to her whole energy body completely. So this time I want you just again pinch the little egg there, and now I want you to hold the pendulum in front of your nose and mouth, and then look at the little ball on top, and I want some of the air from your nose to hit the ball, and then inhale and some of the air from your mouth to hit the ball. So go for it. Perfect. Okay. Very easy. This is a way of properly connecting the crown to the Shendor Pendulum. The crown chakra is connected to your entire energy body. And when you make a good strong connection between the Shendor Pendulum and your crown chakra, then when you use the Shendor Pendulum, it is strengthening any area of your energy body where you need more energy at that time. So what I want you to do now is I want you to just think about an area of your life where you experience some stress. You don't have to say what it is, you just concentrate on it, visualize it, remember it, and so on. And actually I'm going to borrow your arm while you do that. But you put the pendulum down for a moment. Okay, so just concentrate on that area. Okay, so now put Kama Mudra in front of your navel, belly button. Okay, keep concentrating on that area. Ready? Resist. It's not so strong, is it? So the reason I've done this, chosen that place, because as Maria was thinking about whatever that stress in her life happens to be, her energy was contracting here. It wasn't the only place the energy body was contracting, but it was one of them. So, thank you. So now what I want you to do is, again, hold it by the end, pinch the end, little egg at the end. Good. Have your hand like that in your lap. Okay. And now we're going to practice body energy balancing with respect to that particular stress in your life. So the first part of body energy balancing is to bring the pendulum down so the bottom of the egg is just touching the palm of your hand. And then you do what's called the weaving breath, which just means breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. So in nose, out mouth. Just once. Okay, and now lift the pendulum up. And now it's very simple, but it takes some patience, this bit. You have to start swinging the pendulum, as you normally would, backwards and forwards, and focus your eyes on the pendulum, and you're going to keep doing that with the weaving breath. Not breathing quickly, just normal breathing, but in nose, out mouth, and you're going to keep that pendulum going backwards and forwards until it goes to yes, and this can take some time. It could take 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. This is like an energy practice. Is that a yes?
I think so.
Okay, alright, well that's quick. That was very quick. Okay, so now I want you to bring the pendulum down to the palm of your hand and do 3 weaving breaths. In nose, out mouth, 3 times. Okay, great. And then just lift the pendulum up, and then you can just put it in your lap. We're going to test the navel chakra again. So,
yeah,
that's fine. And then have your Kama Mudra in front of your navel. Okay, ready? Resist. That's fine. Concentrate on that issue in your life. Okay, ready? Resist. It's fine, yeah? It's solid. You can go out further if you want. Once again, ready? Resist. So this is what thank you. This is what happens with the Shendor Pendulum. When you have an area of your life that's causing some friction in you, you just focus on it and you tune the Shendor Pendulum into that issue that you're concentrating on, and then you start the pendulum going backwards and forwards until, with the weaving breath, until it goes to yes. Mario's response is very quick there, but it could take a lot longer, and that's absolutely fine. You just have to have patience. And it's also good to actually watch the pendulum swinging. That accelerates the response. At the end, you do the 3 weaving breaths, and that seals your energy so that you remain strong for a long time afterwards, after the Shendor Pendulum has tuned into that area, or multiple areas. Another thing you can do with the Shendor Pendulum, I'm just going to show you this too. So, if you put calm mudra in front of your throat, a little bit lower, and about an inch further out. Okay, so just go back in a bit. Okay, nice strong arm. Ready? Persist. Alright, so Maria's energy is a bit weak there. We all have these weaknesses all through our energy field, around our energy body. This is the normal human condition. And every single one of those points where our energy is weak is causing some kind of stress or friction in our life. So the more we seal our energy, the more we change our energy, the more we are changing our life consequently. So I want you to hold this now, having just done body energy balancing. I just want you to tap your egg against the dome of the Shendor angel. Keep still holding the end.
Oh.
Just tap it. Alright, that's fine. You just drop it in your lap, or it's best in your lap. You don't have a pocket on the left side, do you?
I don't.
No, okay, alright. So I want to borrow your arm again, and have your hand in front of your throat again. Okay, once again. Ready? Resist. Better, yeah? Alright, so when you connect, thank you, when you connect the Shendor Pendulum after body energy balancing to a Shendor angel, if you happen to have one, it will automatically amplify the effects of the Shendor Pendulum many times, and it will start sealing other areas of your energy body that are connected to the primary weakness but may not be directly associated with that particular issue in your life. For example, you know, someone could have a health problem that's affecting their heart, but maybe they also get a lot of stress at work that's affecting their 6th chakra, the frontal lobes of the brain. And so if they strengthen both areas, they're dealing with the entirety of the health problem. If they only strengthen the heart, they're not really doing anything about the original stress that they're picking up at work. So stresses are connected, contractions in the energy field are connected, and the Shendor angel just brings another level of sealing to resolve all kinds of different problems.
So Stephen, when I'm doing the pendulum swing, should I be looking at just the small ball or the whole thing? Or?
Doesn't really matter, Mario. Just focus on the whole pendulum going backwards and forwards, because that makes your eyes move backwards and forwards. And this is called an eye weave. So an eye weave is a deliberate movement of your eyes that affects your energy in a certain way. And with the body energy balancing technique, the eye weave is backwards and forwards with the pendulum, and that just accelerates the sealing process so that you get strong in the areas where you're weak faster.
Okay. And when I tap the Shendor dome, how often do I do that?
Just once after doing the body energy balancing. So let's say a person has 3 big issues in their life. They've got a problem in a relationship, they've got a problem with work, and they've got a problem with health. And all these problems reflect imbalances in our own energy. So if you do a session for each of those, so it's one session, 3 times a day, 3 different subjects, each time you do it, just go tap afterwards, if you happen to have a Shendor angel.